We all have this idea that changing the world requires some huge, heroic act. But what if I told you it starts with something way, way smaller? We're about to dive into this incredible idea from a Navy SEAL, all about how these tiny, consistent acts of discipline can actually build up to create absolutely extraordinary results.
I mean, it's a massive question, right? It feels a little overwhelming, almost impossible. Where do you even start? Well, believe me, the answer is going to surprise you.
Yep, you heard that right, no joke. The journey to making a real, lasting impact, according to one of the most elite warriors on the planet, literally begins the second you get out of bed in the morning, with one simple, completed task.
And this profound, simple wisdom, it's been brilliantly broken down for us by Learner.org in their summary of Admiral William H. McRaven's book. They've laid out 10 powerful lessons straight from SEAL training that, honestly, any of us can use to start achieving our goals.
Okay, so the very first principle is this. Change radiates outward, like ripples in a pond. Before you can make a dent in your community or the world, you have to get your own house in order. It really does all start with you.
So why does this one tiny little thing matter so much? Well, first off, it gives you a small sense of pride. Bam, your first win of the day is already done. And that first win, it creates this incredible domino effect, pushing you to knock down the next task and then the next. It reinforces that the little details matter. And hey, on those really bad days when nothing goes right, you still come home to a bed that you made, a small beacon of hope that you are in control, and that tomorrow can be better. All right, so once you've started building that personal discipline, you realize something pretty fast. You can't go it alone. The next ripple, the next step, is finding the right people to help you get through life's biggest challenges.
Think about it like this. In SEAL training, recruits have to paddle these little rubber rafts through insane, heavy surf. If you try to do it by yourself, it's impossible. You'll just get exhausted and fail. But when the whole team paddles together, in sync, they can power right through any wave. The lesson is crystal clear. You cannot paddle through the rough seas of life on your own. You absolutely need a team.
And when you're building that team, listen, don't get fooled by what you see on the outside. The SEAL instructors saw this with a group of the smallest trainees they called the Munchkin Crew. And guess what? This crew consistently crushed all the bigger, stronger teams. Why? Because the brutal training is an equalizer. The only thing that matters is your will to succeed. It just goes to show you, the most important measure of a person isn't their height or their muscles, it's the size of their heart.
Okay, let's keep going, because life is definitely going to throw some serious challenges your way. This next set of principles is all about how you face and, more importantly, how you overcome that adversity.
You gotta hear about this. During uniform inspections, the instructors would always find some tiny flaw, no matter how perfect you were. The punishment? You had to run into the freezing surf and then roll around in the sand until you were covered head to toe, becoming a sugar cookie. The lesson here is so important. Life is not fair. Sometimes you will fail no matter how hard you try. Complaining won't change a thing. You just have to suck it up and drive on.
And what happened when you failed an event? You got sent to the circus. 2 extra hours of just brutal, punishing exercises. But here's the crazy part. The guys who went to the circus the most often, they actually got physically and mentally stronger. The pain built resilience. The takeaway here is huge. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't fear the consequences. Embrace the circuses in your own life, because they're the things that make you tough enough for the real challenges ahead.
You've also got to be willing to take a few calculated risks. For years, the obstacle course record seemed unbeatable. Then one day, a trainee decided to tackle this dangerous rope slide head first, way faster but way riskier. He didn't just beat the record, he shattered it. The message is simple. If you want to reach your full potential, sometimes you've just got to push your limits and dare greatly.
So check this out. You've mastered yourself, you've built a team, you've learned how to overcome anything. The final step, the final wave, is to use all that strength to lift other people up and inspire hope. So get this. SEALs train in shark-infested waters. Their instructions are simple. Don't back down, stand your ground. If a shark comes at you, you punch it right in the snout. Bullies, just like sharks, feed on fear. You have to find that courage deep inside you to face them down. One of the most difficult SEAL missions involves an underwater attack on a ship, where you have to find the very bottom of it, the keel, in absolute total darkness. It's there, in that terrifying, disorienting moment, that you have to be at your absolute best.
And when you face the darkest moments in your own life, you've got to do the same thing. Reach deep, stay calm, and bring every ounce of strength you have to the table.
During the infamous Hell Week, trainees were ordered into freezing cold mud up to their necks for hours. Everyone was miserable. Morale was gone. Instructors were practically begging them to quit. And then, one trainee started to sing. Just one guy. In a moment, another joined in, and then another, until the whole class was singing, their spirit completely renewed. That is the power of one person. Just one person can give hope to everyone.
And that leads to the final and maybe the most important lesson of all. Right in the center of the SEAL training compound, there's a brass bell. Anyone can go up and ring it 3 times to quit. But they're told one thing. If you do that, you will regret it for the rest of your life. Quitting never, ever makes things easier in the long run. No matter what happens, you never, ever ring that bell. So, let's just pull this all together. These principles are like a roadmap for a strong, resilient life. It all starts with the simple discipline of completing one task. It's about finding your team, knowing that you're going to fail sometimes, and having the guts to take rests and stand up to bullies. But ultimately, it's about stepping up when things are at their worst to give other people hope and making a promise to yourself to never, ever give up.
You know, these are the kinds of profound, actionable ideas that can genuinely change your life. And what's so amazing is that Learner.org is totally dedicated to breaking down this kind of wisdom, making it super accessible and easy to apply, so you can focus on your own growth.
So that just leaves us with one last question, a question for you. It all started with making a bed. What's the one small, simple task that you are going to complete first thing tomorrow to start your own chain reaction, to begin changing your world?